Hi kiddos, I'm sure by now you have heard that our school closure has been extended until further notice, which means that we might not be seeing each other this year. It's a sad thing to think about because I would love for nothing more than to see your faces again. But with the state that the country is in and just how this is all going, it seems like that probably won't be happening soon. So I wanted to make this video to kind of talk about those two things. The sadness that we're probably all experiencing because of this announcement, and also the season that we are entering into, the Triduum Holy Week, and the sadness that we will be feeling, or hopefully will recognize in the celebration or remembrance of Christ's death on the cross. Now, on top of watching our live streaming our St. Linus Masses, I've also had the pleasure of being able to live stream the Masses, or watch the live streamed Masses of the University of Portland, the university I went to. I've been doing that because I love the Holy Cross brothers, the Holy Cross priests and their homilies, as well as just wanting to be a part of that community again, and feeling a part of that community again. And today, in particular, the priest who was giving the homily made this little comment about how he heard someone say that this Lenten season, this past Lenten season of 2020, has been the lentiest Lent that has ever lented. And what that means is that, like every Lenten season, we are going to be sacrificing something. And the sacrifice is to help align ourselves with the sacrifice and struggle of Christ. Now, 6th grade, we as a class gave up chips. 5th grade gave up sweets. And 3rd grade, I want to say sweets and candies were given up as well. Things that were going to be a struggle for us to do in our day-to-day life. And then suddenly we found ourselves having to sacrifice and give up even more because of the state of the world. We've had to give up our routines. We've had to give up the ability to see our friends. Some of us have probably had to give up some of the little things that we've been able to do. Like, I know that for myself, I always liked being able to go get that cup of Starbucks in the morning or something along those lines, but due to financial things, some of us are probably struggling with that. Parents have had to take on extra duties of taking care of you guys and being moms and dads and having to hold down their own jobs, as well as helping you guys figure out your schoolwork. I'm hoping a lot of you, though, have been doing your best to try to handle it on your own and problem solve. But I've also recognized that, having your teachers around, we were able to walk you through so many different things as well. I know I've missed being able to see my own friends and co-workers who I would fellowship with, and I've especially missed being able to see all of you and pray with all of you. Not being able to pray the Divine Mercy 3 times a day and hear your intentions and how much you've cared for the world. It has been such a huge thing for me. I didn't realize how much I loved that routine, but I'm missing it a lot during these times. It helps, and it keeps me in a space and reminds me of how Jesus' sacrifice was so much bigger than the sacrifice we're going through now. How Jesus' death on the cross was so much more painful than not being able to see my friends and not being able to see all of you. It doesn't minimize the fact that the struggle and the pain and the hurt that we're going through is painful and hard to go through right now. But what we can hopefully do with that is take this horrible thing and make it into something beautiful, a remembrance of Christ's love for us. And so with that, we look towards the end of this week. We have Holy Thursday and the Last Supper. We have Good Friday, Holy Saturday, all leading up to the wonderfulness that is Easter. Something so dark and horrible like Jesus' death, which was torturous and painful and intense, is made beautiful in the Easter story. We see that hope, that resurrection that is for us. Now, it doesn't change the state that we're in. It doesn't take all of this pain and frustration and anger and sacrifice away. It doesn't just make it disappear. And by Easter, it's where we might still be here with struggling, having to continue the sacrifice that we've been doing for Lent. But the hope is that we can recognize and be renewed with this struggle. And while it may still continue, that we may see it not as a burden as much as we probably have been in the past week or so, past couple weeks. I'm going to be giving out more resources for you guys to use during the days of the Triduum and throughout Easter, ways to help continue growing in your spirituality. Because Wednesday is going to be our last class day before spring break. So from Holy Thursday until the week after Easter, we're going to be taking a break from schoolwork. But I encourage you, and I hope that you will jump into trying to deepen your faith lives. Because if we are going to be good Christians, if we want to be good Christians, if we want to grow as good Christians, we can recognize that and use a time of suffering as a time of renewal for Christ. How can we put in more of ourselves and grow in our spirituality to make this week be holier, to make our Easter break be even more joyful, even though we're not able to do all the things that we usually love to do? I hope to hear from all of you soon. I hope to be putting up more videos throughout this week as well. And I hope that you guys will continue to pray and grow in your faith with so much enthusiasm. And I hope that as we come back from our Easter break, or spring break, that you will be renewed in your love of God and renewed in this sense of how wonderful the sacrifice of Jesus is. I wish you a very blessed Holy Week, and I hope that you will take the challenge to make this the holiest week that has ever been holied. Bye.